Hello, Beetle people. Bungalow Craig here. Been a while. I wanted to come back and do a video for this album. It's one of my favorite albums of all time, and I wanted to say thank you to some of my subscribers that have been kind of sticking through this and making sure that they're with me on this. So I appreciate you, and this goes shout out to all of you guys. Wanted to continue on my first press video. This is, of course, we're going to experience the 50th anniversary of Abbey Road here really soon. It came out in England on September 26, 1969, and then the US was about a week later, October 1st, 1969. So I wanted to go over the first pressings of this album. So first we'll go the British version. So, and then of course I'm going to be referencing Beatles for Sale on Parlophone record by Frank Daniels and Bruce Spizers. And then the US version, which is Beatles on Apple, which is compiled by Bruce Spizers. So yeah, let's get right to it. All right, to continue on, this is the British side, the British LP. And you can tell the British LPs, of course, by the laminate. How they always seem to have that nice laminate, what I really like on it. But how do you tell the first pressing of this album is not on the front, but usually on the back. So there's something very odd that they messed up on here. And it's right here. So what happened, they were in a rush to get this out. They actually forgot to align the cover with the apple. The apple was meant to go over more. Which is funny is the whole brick wall is supposed to be shifted over. That's how they corrected the error, is they shifted the whole brick wall over or shifted the words over. It's really kind of odd because here is supposed to be the error and the correction. Sorry for the shakiness of there. Let's see if I can get it stable. So there you go. So the left one has the error, and then it's like they shifted the whole cover over. Kind of interesting. So, and one of my favorite rumors was when I was a kid, when I heard about the Paul McCartney is dead. I thought that was cool when people were saying that that's Paul McCartney's face right here. That was one of the cool things. And then the three Beatles over here on the side here. So, but yeah, and then the first pressing also on the cover will have it more, it's like further away, like it's not close up of the Beatles. So on the second pressings, the third pressings, and so forth, they kind of focused in more, so you can't even see the sewer grate right here. And John Lennon and the Beatles look like they're like superimposed kind of thing. Not superimposed, but like focused in, like it's like really like close up like that. So kind of cool. And then I was trying to get everything included. So a lot of sources say, I was reading, that this album came with a black inner sleeve. Some sources say yes, it did. Some sources say no. So it seems like what happened was they were trying to get the black, or they were just continuing on with the black inner sleeves. And then some of the later pressings came with a white sleeve. So I actually got both of them. So with the white inner sleeves, what you want to see on the bottom is the patent number, or the NOS 1-125-555, and then made in Great Britain. So I decided to get both of these just to kind of have the completionist. I know with the black sleeves, they can, especially with the misaligned cover, they can actually, collectors usually look for those a lot more, just because they value them highly more than having the white one in there. It kind of like completes the set. But also, another thing you want to see is the record itself. So let's take a look at this record. So what it wants to be, what you want to do have a first pressing, of course, is not having Her Majesty on the back. And it also, on the back of the cover, has the same thing. So Her Majesty was not, you know, not supposed to be on the album. So you want those to line up, and then you're going to want to see for the pressing matrix, you're going to want to see a 1-1 and a -1, and then I think it's 749-2 on side A, and then 750-1 on side B. So those are the first pressings of that. And then what's really cool is that you'll see that the Apple is kind of like a darker kind of a press. So here's the first pressing in Bruce Spizers' book. And then here's the second pressing. So kind of really cool. I really like the British version of this album. A lot more, to be honest, than the American release. So, all right, let's head over to the American release. Okay, this is the US version of Abbey Road. And this was actually the first time Capitol actually on the cover and the whole cover and the back cover and everything. It was actually a print on poster board. So the first pressings of this album have the print on poster board. So that's what you want to definitely take a look at when looking for the first pressing of this album. So just to kind of reiterate, the first pressings will have this grate because they did the same thing as when the English version. The later pressings zoomed into this picture, so they cut off the sewer grate and more of the picture in the background. So first pressings will have this, and then if you flip over, you will have No Her Majesty on the back. Okay, so you have to take a look at this and make sure it's not printed on poster board, because I was actually fooled a little while ago and picked up one that had No Her Majesty on the back, but it was a cardboard, so they pasted it just like how they would the old way back in for the best of the Beatles catalog in the 60s. So what you want to see as well is when they use the poster boards, when you open it, unfortunately I can't, I'm the only person here, so I don't have another hand that I can open up the board, but if you open up the cover, you'll see a white poster board on both sides of in the inner side of this album. So if you open it up right here, you're going to want to see white on white, just because that's the way they did that. And then they realized, oh, there's a more cost-effective way. So instead of using the white poster board on white poster board, they used actually a gray poster board instead for the inner line of this album. So so the first pressings will have like a white poster board on a white poster board inside the inner lining of this. So those are kind of the sums to take a look at. And then of course, when you have this record, you're going to want to make sure that it has No Her Majesty listed underneath here. So those are the first indications of having a first pressing. And Bruce Spizer in his book does go over that. So here, this page right here, these are all the different like Capitol plants pressings, but these are all considered first pressing just because they don't have Her Majesty on the end after the end. So, and here's another one. That's the one I believe I had the first one. I had the first one. And here are the second editions with that includes. It's kind of like they crammed the label. It's like, let's get all this information right in the label as much as we can. So, but yeah, that's the US version of Abbey Road. So let's go ahead and kind of recap. Sorry, one thing I forgot to mention was the inner sleeve. So with Capitol plants in the United States, they weren't kind of meticulous, I guess, with the inner sleeves as much as the UK versions. They had like ads and stuff like that. So did the British on some occasions. But with the Apple releases, I really like the black inner sleeve. I think that's what's really cool about some of these albums. But With the US, they actually came with this white stock inner sleeve with the hole cut out. So it's just the generic kind of sleeve that they were issued in. So when you find this record, don't think that you don't have it complete if you have one of these sleeves. So just to kind of be on the lookout. So now let's recap. All right, just want to conclude saying, hey, I really like this album. I had to come back and do my first press video because of it. This is one of my favorite Beatle albums that I really love and I really listened to a lot when I was a kid. So I want to say happy anniversary, 50th anniversary, depending on where you are. But this album was released in September 26, 1969 for the British version, and October 1st, 1969 on the US version. So again, happy anniversary, and please comment, subscribe, give me a shout out, or give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. I appreciate the view no matter what. Take care. Peace.